Hey guys, it's Caleb with Team Tempo here, aka the Thunder God, aka Lil Baby K. Coming at you with a Voiceless Voice Tech profile. I took 30th place at the Milwaukee Regional yesterday. There's 378 players, and it was top 48 that got their invites. I played Voiceless Voice, like I said, and I just wanted to show you the deck profile. A couple of shout-outs. Shout out Team Tempo. We got Cole, Bruce, Greg, Sang, Hunter, Travis, Justin, Gustavo, and Blake that all went with us yesterday. So we had a pretty big turnout for the team. I think we all had a lot of fun, and it was a good day. So I'm just going to start out. We got 3 low. It's pretty standard. A lot of this list is pretty standard. It's pretty streamlined at this point until we get the new support. So 3 low, main starter, card you need in your graveyard or on the field at all times. Saphira, really good. Sends a ritual spell to search for a ritual monster as well. Send is cost, and it can still send under Droll, which is really nice. This card was really good. We have the single Saravis, Old Man Saravis. I drew this card a lot more than I would have liked to yesterday. Sometimes it does come up, but it's more something you want to get off the trap if necessary. And then we have the rituals. We got 2 Skull Guardian. This card's really good. Obviously, it becomes a big beat stick at 4,100 when you have low on the field or in the graveyard. It has an Omni Negate. It searches for a Voiceless Voice card on summon, on ritual summon. Just really good in general. Saravis was really good yesterday as well. A lot of targeting, especially against Fire King. The Princess in the Grave, negating that with Saravis was always really good. Won me a couple of games, I would say, definitely just by itself, basically. It's also a good special. Really good against some decks with the inherent summoning if they summon from the extra deck a lot. Decks like Cash that inherent summon. So yeah, really good. Now to the spells for Voiceless. We have the 3 Barrier. This is the one that protects the targeting from when you have low and Skull Guardian or a light ritual monster on the field. It also makes you attack your opponent attack the rituals for battle phase as well, which is really nice. Searches you a card. Really, most of the time, this is what I went for first on my first low. And then we also have the ritual spell that I play at 2. Yeah, this card, drew it a lot more than I wish I would have. A lot of times I had 2 in hand and I couldn't activate Saphira, or pre-prep in hand and I couldn't activate pre-prep. It actually probably was the main reason that I lost round 8 in my game 2. And round 9, I also had 2 of them in my hand as well. And then we have the 1 trap. This trap was insane. There's a part of me that wants to play 2, but I know it's not right. There was times where my pull play got stopped, and if I drew this or if I could get into this somehow, it just let me play the game and let me set up my negate. Really good. I didn't use the pop too often, but it did come up every once in a while. It just stinks that once you use the pop, you don't have the option to use it anymore. That's the Voiceless stuff for the spells, traps, and monsters. Now we're just going to get into a couple of different engines. Diviner is always played. This card is really good. It didn't come up a lot, but it was a really good imperm target for a lot of my opponents, which actually helped me play the game usually if I drew the right cards. You send Trias off this, otherwise you have Entis or Herald from the extra deck. I did send Entis one time, and it really helped out my plays. Then we play the 1 Trias. This is what you send from the main deck. This quick effect can tribute a fairy monster to special summon itself, and then when Diviner gets tribute, you can special summon low. It really helps with targeting protection, so if they imperm the Diviner and you have this in hand, works out great, or they imperm a low and you have this in Graver hand, really nice. MVP of the day, Branded Fusion. I was really iffy on whether or not I wanted to play this deck or this engine in the deck. I did a lot of testing without it, a lot of testing with it. And in the end, I'm really glad that I did. We have the 1 Albaz, and then I did actually main deck the Jaugen. This actually came up quite a bit if I won die roll and I drew Branded Fusion. I think there was a couple of games where they just scooped and we went to round 2. This came up a lot. This probably was actually the MVP of the day. Even in like those weird little games where you're kind of going back and forth, I could normal summon this in a simplified game state, beat over what they have, and they couldn't do anything. So we definitely play this in the feature as well. Then we have a couple of consistency cards. We have our pre-prep that I played at 2, and I played it at 2 because I'm also playing Prosp. I think that these are really good cards. The Prosp, the idea behind Prosp was obviously I didn't want to draw 2 of it, but if I didn't draw Branded Fusion going first, or anything like that, it was nice to prosp into it. Or if my plays get stopped, obviously going into the prosp is really nice. Pre-prep at 2, I was okay with. It is a good card. It basically is your starter card. It can get you through Droll, get you through a lot of things, but just with playing prosp and that one, I didn't obviously want to kind of have 3 ofs of both. I did play a couple hand traps here, so we have the 3 Ash, 3 Veiler, 3 Nib, and 3 Imperm. 12 hand traps was fine. I was playing 2 talents in the main as well. I did miss it a couple of times, but overall, I think that it was a good cut. The main deck is 42 cards, and I was very happy with it. I think it performed really well today. Not too much crazy stuff going on, but it was a good deck. Now we'll go to the extra deck here. So the extra deck, a little bit less important. Didn't go into it as much as I would have liked to, but it does still come up. We have the Relinquished Anima, the IP, the SP. We played 2 Dynamondos. That's it for the links. The Relinquished Anima I went into a lot. A lot of times I would banish it off prosp, and I missed it a ton. This was never went into it twice in one turn, one game. Could be cut, but it is a nice prosp target. The IP and the SP never really went into it. The SP I went into a couple of times to remove some problem cards, but overall nothing too crazy. Now to the Synchros. We have Herald to send off of Diviner. We have the Baron, and we have the Chaos Angel. Baron did win me the one game that I went into it. It was a very simplified game state. I got out Skull Guardian, he negated it, didn't have anything else. Normal summoned an Ash, went into Baron, and from there it was over. Chaos Angel I went into a couple of times. Didn't really solve a lot of issues, but it did extend games for me in some certain cases because it made the opponent try to get over that. This is probably the reason that I ended up tying and not losing in my last round to get the invite, so very nice. We got a couple of fusions for the branded stuff. First we have Entis, another send target off of Diviner, and then we do play the 2 Albion, the 1 Lubellion, the 1 Mirror Jade, and the 1 Albion Sanctifier. I didn't actually go into Mirror Jade at all today. I did try to go into it a couple of times, but my Lubellion would get stopped or my Albion would get stopped. They'd banish the Fallen of Elbaz from the grave, anything like that. So didn't actually go into the card once, but it was nice. It did attract a lot of hand traps, especially when you start out with Branded Fusion. They don't know what you're playing. They're almost always going to Ash it. And then you have Saphir in hand, you can just keep going with your plays. So came up a lot. Albion, banned this card. Obviously really good with the Jogging Lock, but it does need to go. And then we did play the 1 Typhon. I did not go into this yesterday, but I really wish that I would have. There was a couple of times where it would have came up, but I guess that's what we learned from. Now we go to the side deck. Relatively happy with the side deck. I think it needs a little bit of changing maybe, some tinkering, but we have the 3 Bell. This is for going first. I always sided this in going first just because Bestials, DD Crow, anything like that. We have our Droll and Lockbird. Did side it in a couple of times. I don't think I drolled anybody besides 1 Snake Eye player, and I think it worked, but probably cuttable. Could be different things. I think it could be Bestials or a Crow. We have our 3 Dark Ruler. This was mainly for the mirror, which I did see twice, but it was round 2 and 3, and didn't end up needing it. I did use it one time and ended up basically winning me the game. Just being able to get over everything and then set up your own board is usually really nice. We do have the 3 Cosmics. This card was sided in 2nd and 3rd almost every single game. It might have to go in the main deck if I'm being honest with you. Maybe not 3, but 2. Really good going 2nd if your opponent's setting up floodgates. I cosmic'd a bunch of different summon limits, a bunch of different anti-spells, things like that. And then it actually is pretty good. Obviously, Fire King, you can get the field spell, but Snake Eye the field spell, there was one time where it came up, and that was his last play line that he saved for the end, and I ended up cosmicing, and he scooped from there. And then our last one, Summon Limit. Didn't go into Summon Limit too often. The times that I did, it did get easily outed. But I don't think I was drawing it very often when I did side it in. But obviously, it's a really good card going first. A lot of my matchups, they don't die to Summon Limit as much. There's decks that can play through Summon Limit or around Summon Limit just as well as we can. But I just think we do it a little bit better, only needing the low summon and the Skull Guardian summon. So Overall, like I said, I had a really great experience. This was my first actual top at a regional. I bubbled a couple of times, but it's really nice to actually get there. Again, shout out to all the boys. I really couldn't have done it without you guys. You guys gave me the motivation I needed once I was doing well in the beginning. You told me to kind of keep my head up and stay focused. So I appreciate all you guys. I had a really great time, and I can't wait to go to Nats, and I can't wait for this deck to get even better. Go check out the YouTube channel. Give us a like, comment, subscribe. And then we're going to have a podcast coming out, episode 2, pretty soon about the regional experience, so you guys can hear a little bit more from the other guys. Anyhow, thanks. This is Kaleb, a.k.a. the Thunder God, a.k.a. Little Baby K, signing off.